Hello guys, we are going to be solving the problem valid anagram. Uh, Before we go on to the problem, let's just quickly revise what an anagram is. Anagram is the same word in a different sequence. So here you see this word S is an anagram, and if you call T, it's an nagram. But if you count the number of alphabets, they are the same across both S and T. So you've got two A's, A and or in fact three A's here, and you've got three A's here. You've got one N, you've got one G, one R, one M, so on and so forth. It's just a different rearrangement. And the question here asks, given two strings S and T, return true if T is an anagram of S and false otherwise. And this is what we just spoke about as a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase. So how do we go about doing it? Uh, well, we have to count the number of alphabets and just make sure that each alphabet occurs the same number of times in both words. And if you think about it, the complexity of it should be equal to the length of S or T because the both of them are equal. So in this particular instance, uh, the trivial solution is actually in fact the best solution because we cannot have any approach where we can reduce the complexity further than the length of the string S. So I guess the solution is clear. Let's start coding. So first we'll say if the length of S is not equal to length of T, then what does that mean? That means that there could be any combination, but if the lengths of these two strings are not equal to begin with, then it is a false. It cannot be true otherwise. Now we'll use a data structure called a hash map, and hash map uh, is basically a dictionary or in the JavaScript world, it's an object. So here what we'll do is we'll have every character as a key and we'll have the number of times this character is repeated as the value. So let's just define two hash maps. One would be count of S, which is for the string S, and then say count of T, and just define these two hash maps here. Now in Python, we have this flexibility where we can define two variables on the same line. If we were doing it in JavaScript, we would have had to define each variable on a separate line. All right, so we did that, and then we'll iterate through one of the strings because both of these strings are of the same length, so we don't need to iterate through them separately. We can just iterate through one of them, and we'll say in range length of S. So we are going to iterate through all the indexes, and we'll say count S. And what are we looking at? So count of S is the hash map, and we'll say, let me just write it down first before I start speaking, which is count of S dot get S of I comma 0. So this looks a little weird if you've not seen this before, but what's going on is we are saying in the hash map count of S for this particular alphabet S of I is the index, right? So initially I is 0, so S of I means S of 0, which is A. So we are saying in count of S hash map for the key A, will add the value 1 plus whatever was already there. So the obvious question is, why aren't we using the same syntax here on the right side? And the reason is because for the first instance of A, when if we were to say 1 plus count S and S of I, if this was not available, it would throw a key error. So here with this get syntax, what we are doing is we are saying if this SI is not available, then just give a 0 instead. So for the first instance, it would be 1 plus 0, 1. And then this is how it will go on going forward. I know for some of you, you already know this, so it's quite repetitive, but I just want to make sure that uh, for folks who do not know this, that they are on the same page as us. So now we did this. Let's just go on and do the same thing for the second hash map. So here the hash name of the hash map is count of T, and we are going in the T string. Basically the same, just are replacing S with a T. So now we've basically built our hash maps, and what are we doing at the end? After the loop's done, we want to make sure that they are equal. If they are equal, we'll return a true. So what we can do is we can say, is this equal to this? And if this is equal, then it will return a true. And if it's not equal, then it will return a false. So let's run this and submit it. Works fine. See you in the next one.